So after much technical difficulty, there you go. I got the paper online version. Um, so let's see. Here's the evaluate section. There you go. Here's a question that's going to show up on the test. This is, use the diagram to find the lengths. So BP, that's this line, is the perpendicular bisector of AC. Oh, what that means is these two measure the same. And remember the perpendicular bisector theorem, that means what? This line, and let me just use a different color. This line and this line also measure the same. And CQ over here, that would be this line, CQ over here, is the perpendicular bisector of BD. Oh, so then same thing, this one and this one measure the same, and this one and that one measure the same. Okay, so it says suppose AP is 5. AP, so this yellow thing right here, let's say that this is 5. I know that some people can't see that, so let me change that to a different color. So 5. What is the length of PC? We just talked about the perpendicular bisector theorem and how this and that measure the same. So the length of PC would be 5 centimeters. Easy. Oh, that's when you get it wrong. Easy, right? So you're going to put a check mark. Now let's take a look at question number 6. Suppose AP is 5 centimeters and BQ, where's BQ? Oh, that's that line over there. Let me go ahead and use a different color. BQ over here, this is 8 centimeters. So then what is the length of QD? Oh gosh, we already know the answer to that. It's another 8 centimeters because we talked about how CQ is the perpendicular bisector. So this and that measure the same, right? All right, so that was a very easy question, obviously. And of course, there's more questions here, which I don't think, I'm going to give you, so I'm not going to go over those. And so now let's take a look at this one right here. Okay, it says PA is equal to PC. So PA, this line and this line is, oh, we already know that when this and this measure the same because of the converse of the perpendicular bisector theorem, we know that if this and that measure the same, then this line over here is the perpendicular bisector of that. Okay, so we're going to suppose that the measure of angle 2 right here, let me go ahead and just erase all of this part because now we already know that that's the perpendicular bisector. Let's say that the measure of angle 2 is 38 degrees, so then what will be the measure of angle 1? Because this is a perpendicular bisector, then we know that 1 and 2 added together is 90 degrees because that's what perpendicular lines are. So in order to find the measure of angle 1, what do you have to do? Just 90 minus 38. So that will be 52 degrees. So easy. And over here, what does it say? What is measure of angle 3 plus 4? So if you add these two angles together, that's going to be what? 90 degrees. It's not like you gotta find the measure of angle 3 and 4. And then over here, let's see what it's asking over here. Suppose PA is 10 centimeters, so that's how long that is. And PB is this one over here. That is 6 centimeters. So what is the length of AC? Oh, so then they want you to give the answer for this whole thing. Well, that ends up being super easy because look, what is this triangle right here? We basically have the two blue lines and then we have the red line at the bottom, and that's what we're trying to find out. But there's two of the red lines, right? Because this is a perpendicular bisector, we know that this red line and this red line measure the same. So we're just going to use the Pythagorean theorem. This is a really good question. I think I'm going to give it to you on the test. And so we talked about how this is 10 centimeters and PB is 6 centimeters. So what is this? X. Okay, so let's do this. Pythagorean theorem. Hypotenuse squared. 10 squared is equal to x squared plus 6 squared. So 100 is equal to x squared plus 36. Okay, so in order for me to find out what x squared is equal to, I gotta subtract 36 from both sides. So when I subtract 36, I'm going to get 64, and that's x squared. So what is x? 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. So I know that x is 8. But we're not looking for just this side, because that's this one right here, right? We're also trying to get that. So 8 plus 8 is what? 16 centimeters, and that's your answer. Ooh, it's easy for me, but I'm pretty sure it's not for you. And so I'm going to give you this as a question. Not trying to fail you, but so far all the questions were super duper easy, right? Okay, these look a little bit more complicated, even though it is not difficult. So I'm just gonna pass through. Let me find another question for you. And you know what? That's actually it for chapter 14. Now we also have to work on some of the questions on probability, right? So I'm just gonna give you a few things. What I want you to do is, instead of me giving you more questions on probability, I just want you to go back and watch that other video. All the other stuff, remember the most recent test, how you are studying? I'm going to just go ahead and select like maybe 4 or 5 questions from there, the most recent test. I'm gonna give you the exact same question, but just change the number. So you still have access to the practice test, okay? So just go there and study them. Okay, just in case, let me go ahead and give you the password. Okay, so what you gotta do is you have to go into your haiku. So for me, I usually go into my mailbox first, and then I click on the Rubik's Cube, scroll down, go into haiku learning, and then I go into math 2, and then assessments, right? And then the practice test is right here. It's this one right here, the practice test. So if you just click on it, it's already open. So yeah, there is no password or anything. You should be able to go in there. Okay? If you have any problems, just email me. So it could be any of these questions, okay? But I'm going to select just 4 or 5. So make sure you study those. There's no point in me going over these anyways again. So happy studying. Good luck.